I don't know whether to keep the beard. Kind of think I should just go back to the moustache soon. Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Griefdrums, and today I have an absolute belter of a spot for you. In fact, it's less of a spot and more of a technique that you're going to be able to use across multiple maps. But I'm going to showcase one particular area that, honestly, it's just stupid. It's ridiculous.
The skylight angle. Magnet will finally strike for Fnatic, though, picking up the first, but Shaiko's there to strike right back, knocking out Tex, and still waiting for that peek to come in for Mentalist again at the skylight. Shaiko! What? With a double! That might have been a collateral, taking out Magnet and Lusty, and now looking for the last one. He gets it as well. It's an ace from Shaiko!
So as you will have seen there, that was Shaiko playing for BDS against Fnatic at the 6 Invitational, and he used it to great effect. That entire area of the map that normally people wouldn't play, I have now added that to my arsenal. That was arsenal, not arsehole. I use this pretty much every time that we play Cafe top floor defense now. I really do. I'm going to show you in a second one of the most ridiculous reasons that I use that. But first of all, let's go ahead and we'll break down the lines of sight that the team had created and how he used those so effectively.
Block off doorways with a type of reinforcement that is not as easily broken down by the attackers. It's not just the...
So here we are looking at the top floor of Cafe. I just want to very quickly say a huge thank you to R6 Tactics. You can find them on Twitter. They provided all of these blueprints that I've been using recently, and the link is in the description below if you want to use any of these. So please go over there, check them out. They're all free of charge, and they've done a great job creating them. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a very quick look at the setup. Now, I'm not going to go into things like castle barricades or anything like that, because we are predominantly looking at the lines of sight that were created and why they were created. So what we're going to look at here is the fact that both this barricade just here and this barricade just here that leads from the piano room into the actual bar area, instead of being reinforced, these were both shot out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and break down why this was the case in just a second, but I thought it was important for you to see this so you could see exactly what the setup was. As we saw, Shaiko was playing underneath the skylight here on the top floor defense of Cafe, and he was playing in this area just behind this counter, and it is so strong. And the reason for that is now that the skylight changes have been made, you don't really have to worry about any crazy angles. You can sit directly under the skylight and people are going to struggle to get lines of sight onto you. As we saw, Shaiko initially played from underneath the skylight, and he was holding quite an aggressive angle. The reason behind this is any attacker that comes up to there is going to expose the top of their head, and as we saw, Shaiko was sat right in this position where he can move around quite freely, and he could peek out just a little bit to hold that aggressive angle, knowing that the only thing that could potentially get him is either a Capital Firebolt or a grenade being thrown down here. This is exactly what we saw in his clip, and once you've done that, you've still got the ability to move around freely. Now, in the recent tournament that I played, I was doing exactly this, and I was playing underneath of this skylight, and as the window went open on Heaven, I had the opportunity to both check brown stairs, keep an eye on those, and then as the dude tried to rappel in, thinking it was clear, I just destroyed him, absolutely destroyed him. So continuing on with the BDS game, we're going to take a look at one of the angles that Shaiko was using, and that is this wall just over here. Now, a lot of teams reinforce this, others create lines of sight. The line of sight is actually really strong, and I'm going to show you why that is. From Shaiko's position back here, he has the option to control the majority of the piano room. The windows, you can see just there and there. Anyone that's trying to come in through those, you've got the opportunity to shoot at. And just imagine it from an attacker's perspective. If you go into this room, you have enough places to worry about. You've got the top of the white stairs, the white hallway to worry about if any defenders are trying to aggressively push through there. You've got Cigar, potential flanks from the red stairs. You know, you need to exert control over this Christmas piano room very often. But you can't do that if you can't stand in here because someone is behind that counter applying pressure to you, which is exactly what we saw.
That peek to come in for Mentalist again at the skylight. Shaiko! What? With a double! That might have been a collateral.
To cut a very long story short, the game devs changed something a while back, which was to mitigate against random wall bangs and lucky shots through multiple walls. Have you ever seen it where someone was just randomly spraying and they get a headshot? Well, apparently that was not exactly the best. So the devs have adjusted it very slightly so that you can't do that as much. Now what I mean by this is if we know that someone is on the other side of a wall, we can come to that side of the wall and we can shoot them because the wall is only one layer thick. if you were to punch it, that's one whole layer gone. Yes, if you were to look inside of it, it's actually 2 layers, but that is classed as 1. So if I was to shoot Doc just here, I'm going to go down and just miss him. There. So that hit him. That hit him right in the butt. You won't be able to see it because it's on my other laptop, but that actually took Doc down to 82 HP. So we're going to go downstairs to try and showcase this. Now what I've done is I've gone ahead and placed Doc inside of the reading room, and as you'll see, I'll put a punch hole there just so we can identify exactly where he is. You can see there that he is there. So that is one section of wall that he's on, that red side there. There's this wall here, so that's 2 walls. And now if I was to perfectly line him up, crouch, aim, and shoot, that has done absolutely 0 damage. As you'll see, it's not even appeared on this side of the wall. And that's because of the adjustment that the devs did and the changes that they made. So as you'll see, it's hit that wall. It shows that there's a bullet hole there, but it doesn't go any further than that. Back in the day, you'd be able to hit someone on the other side of that wall and you could be in the fireplace hall. You could literally just sort of spray through. Now, the interesting thing to note is obviously the second a bullet hole is there and you've made it, it's no longer traveling through 2 separate walls. It's going to hit that wall through there and it's going to completely miss this wall just in front of me. So if you listen carefully, I'm not sure if you heard that, but Doc is now down on 39 HP if I look across to my other monitor, and as you'll see, there is a bullet hole just there. It has managed to travel all the way through. So knowing what we now know about bullet holes, or about surfaces, let's go ahead and take a look at the inside of one of these sections here. Now, these cabinets have 3 layers. They've got the first layer over here, they've got this middle layer, and then they've got this third layer. And that can be hugely beneficial to you as a player. If you come over to this cabinet, you may have seen this in some of the earlier clips that I've just used, you can go ahead and put a couple of punch holes on this, or even just bullet holes if you want to utilize this section as a glorified peek hole, I guess. Now, as you can see, I can see quite far through into Cigar there. It's pretty handy, actually, because you can keep an eye on a common thoroughfare. This is where a lot of attackers are going to try and push through. Now, what I have been doing is I've been making it kind of difficult for them to know exactly whereabouts I am. Much like you would normally see on walls in things like Coastline in the Pro League. And yes, I know for a fact that you're going to say, yeah, but they can quite easily shoot that. So I've gone ahead and stuck Doc right behind the cabinet. If we were an attacker coming to here, we wouldn't know which punch hole it is. And it's pretty common that an attacker is just going to spray the entire cabinet hoping to shoot that person and kill that defender that is behind there. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to put a few rounds into there and put a few more rounds. And as you'll see, we're still not hitting him. Still not hitting. That's an entire magazine and not a single round has hit him. Now we're going to go ahead and start putting this directly into the same area. The first layer is now gone and we're still not getting him. We'll try shooting the exact bullet hole that we know he's at. His head is right behind that bullet hole and none of these rounds are hitting him. I am now through onto my 5th magazine and I'm still yet to hit the defender that is there. Now, I defy you to tell me that that isn't ridiculously powerful. By playing over here and being able to shoot through this, they've got to shoot through that first layer there, then the second layer where the bullet is going to stop. So let's just assume that the bullet makes it through the first layer, you manage to destroy that, then they hit the second layer and it makes it through to the third layer, and guess what? The bullet stops again. It's not going to make it through to hit me. So they're going to have to go through 2 layers first before you can get it to that final layer and then through to me, the defender. Of course, this does work on loads of different maps. We are here over on Villa in the Trophy Statue Bomb site. If you ever look at this this wardrobe or this cabinet, you do need to be careful of this window. If it's wide open, you're not going to be able to do it unless, of course, you've castled it up, you know, something along those lines. But this is something that you will see in Macy J's videos. He actually put it in a, I think it was his recent Full Game Friday video, in which no one was coming from this way, and he'd come over to here and pretty much just put a couple of bullet holes. Now that's 4 layers that you're going to have to go through. And as you can see, you can look all the way through. If I'm going to put another bullet there, that goes all the way through to the door of the master bedroom. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through to that door and I will stand inside of the master bedroom. Now anyone trying to peek this doorway, Obviously, they're going to be looking for people just over here. And yes, you can see that there are bullet holes there. But I would love to see you mitigate against that if someone is playing directly behind it. So I'm going to move Doc just behind there. As you can see, he's just going behind. And we'll go ahead and we'll get him to put a round into us and actually just sort of shoot us and showcase that he is actually there. So, we know Doc's behind there. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and just shoot at him. And as you'll see, it's taking quite a lot to actually get him. Now, what I've actually done there is by doing that, I've given him an even wider view, if you will, so he can actually see me even clearer now. As you'll see, I've gone through the first layer, made a nice big hole, shooting exactly where those bullet holes were, hoping to hit him with a pre-fire or something. And as you'll see, I can see even more now through this. It's gone through the first layer, it's hit the second layer, and it's not going any further than that. There's a couple of bullet holes, which are the original bullet holes, actually, if you look carefully enough. They're the original ones that Doc, or that I shot out to showcase this. So we've gone ahead and moved Doc over to there now, and as you can see, he is blatantly obvious. He's not hitting us at all. Now, I want to make it quite clear, this will not make you indestructible, and you could die in this spot, but give it a go, and let me know how you get on. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Now, I am extremely conscious that this video has gone on a lot longer than I was initially planning for it to. I have delved quite far into this, a lot deeper than I expected to go. I wanted to break down a lot more of Shaiko's actual hold of this area of the map and why they had some of the rotates they had. But looking at the timer, we are really knocking on now. So I am going to go ahead and leave the video there for today. If you would like to break down any more maps or, you know, some of the Pro League holds that we've seen and the lines of sight they've created, I'd love for you to let me know down in the comments below. I would quite happily start breaking down more defensive holds, setups, site setups, ways to attack, things like that. I'm quite happy to do that if that's something that people will be willing to see. Hopefully this will help you out. Hopefully you can take this away to different maps and implement this elsewhere. Fingers crossed you enjoyed the video, and with any luck, it's given you a little bit of insight. If you did enjoy it, please consider hitting the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the dislike button and let me know why down in the comments below. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel for all things Rainbow Six. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.